Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you are watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, Chris, do you have any geek news? I don't. Nothing big has really happened today. Chris, you may ask, do you have any product views? And no, again, I do not. And of course, answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, Chris, what do you plan on doing today? Well, I'm doing this live broadcast specifically because I have so many amazing supporters. 961 patrons as of today. So happy that we're at this point. In fact, this morning, for all you patrons out there, maybe non-patrons as well, I posted, and I haven't shared this on social yet, I posted the very first image of baby Pirillo. And the technology they used was like an ultrasound, but it was a technology that took the signal and made it look like you were sitting right there in the womb with the baby, looking directly at the baby. I mean, it was breathtaking to see technology move to this point. So the photo of baby Pirillo is now there for patrons to see. It may be public as well. This is I guess it's a pre-baby. I mean, it's still a baby, but you can see the baby's face. The baby's face is actually smushed up against Diana's, I guess it would be her abdomen, like basically the uterine wall. So you see like half the baby's face, and the nose is kind of pushed in a bit. But it was breathtaking. I mean, I was showing some of our friends and people that we're working with healthcare, and they said, wow, they could not believe the level of detail that was visible. What, Dad?
She looked like this?
She looked a lot like that, Dad. My dad, in case you're wondering, is here. This is what I plan on doing today. I realize I'm a few minutes late. Sorry about that. Still have not eaten lunch. I really need to because I'm super hungry. But I am going to turn it over to my dad. Tomorrow, you might know, we're doing our AMA, weekly AMA. Still plan on doing that because you can ask me anything. And doesn't mean I'm going to answer everything or anything, but you can ask me anything. Today will be a special AMA with my dad. And so I'll fire some questions being asked by people who are watching this video live, as well as from a general thread that was posted in last week's AMA. So I'm doing my best. The reason why I don't have a lot of spare time right now is not the child, believe it or not. It's because Vlogger Fair is happening this weekend, as you likely already know, and I'm very, very happy about that. We expect to have about 2,000 people. Very, very excited. Some of them are rolling into town. In fact, later today, I'm going to be meeting with Liz, who has been absolutely instrumental in bringing us Vlogger Fair to the point where it's at today. So that's what's going on in Chris Pirillo's life, and I've hardly had time to even like regularly vlog. I think I got a couple of shots, and really it's been hectic. But that's what happens, you know, the days before leading up to an event. Let me go ahead and scroll down there. Is everything on? Microphone's working. We are good. I'm breaking a sweat. Let me go ahead and tilt that away. All right, Dad, you want to come over here and sit in this chair and say hello and all that, and then I'll start firing questions at you. Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's something wrong with the picture.
Yes, there is. Couldn't tell you what exactly, but there appears to be an anomaly. Looks a lot like a face.
I'm not an anomaly, I'm an Italian.
All right, so since the last time you sat here and talked with us, oh yes, go ahead, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Oh, I gotta watch my voice. I always think you're far away, so I project a little more. I'm a motorcycle coach, and we call that our range voice, so that the riders, when we're trying to give them instructions, we get our voices a little higher so they hear us. So sometimes I get in front of the camera, and I kind of think you're further away than you really are. I guess you are far away in a way, but you're close in another way. That's kind of neat, huh? It's kind of nice about technology, I think. So if you got a question or two for me, I'll be happy to try to answer. You may not like my answer, but I'll answer it.
Did he just say she in reference to the baby?
No.
No, I think it was... Well, here's the thing. I've been using he and she intermittently, so I've been saying she sometimes, it, he. Yeah. I'm all over the map.
And if you haven't seen the picture, I was asking Chris if the picture looked like this.
Yes, it does.
See?
It looks a lot like that. That's exactly what it looks like.
It got the Pirillo nose, we call it.
So, let's see here. What do we have? Like, I've got, I mean, of course, I just kind of sprang this on everybody.
Okay.
But they're saying hello. Let your video editing, Joe Pirillo. What? Love your video editing. Someone loves your video editing.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead. I want to let you dive into this answer for a bit because I got to compose this email real quick. it's like your video editing. Like, what's your process of video editing? You know, do you consider yourself a guy who likes video editing? Like, what's
Chris, in the other day in a vlog, mentioned how we used to take a lot of videos in the day with the VCR cameras and all that kind of thing. But prior to that, I used to have a Super 8 camera. And some of the videos were actually those redone into the new formats. But I always wanted to edit. In fact, when I was stationed in Africa, I had made this one video, and I took a picture leaving, and I thought, well, I didn't have a picture arriving, so I did a drive back in, and my intent was always to go back and to edit that Super 8 movie. And so now that I got the phone and start doing it all on the phone, I like to edit. I just kind of enjoy trying to put it together so I don't run on and on and on like I am now. I could cut some of that out, and I can change the order of things. I've learned quite a bit just using the phone. And now what I do, for all you good techies out there, I did update my phone, but I did not update my iPad yet. So what I do now is I transfer my videos to my iPad, and I do my editing on the iPad. And it became a lot easier for me doing it on the iPad, just simply because you got a larger picture to work with. So that's kind of what I do. I don't like the snaps in between them. I kind of like to fade kind of in and out of the clip to clip to clip. But a lot of ours currently are just our travels. And I'll have one coming out about our travel out here. Also, I'll have one coming out. Judy put one together on riding her bike around the area. I'll get that one out too.
all right?
Well, that was kind of a long
No, it's good. I need a long answer because.
answer.
Okay, so Richard Smith asked, what will be Baby Pirillo's first quote-unquote device? If you had a choice for the first device or toy to give to the baby, what would it be?
A rattle.
Do you remember your first toy or device?
No, I don't remember. I don't think I ever had a... Well, what do you mean first device? I mean, I was older when I had my first device. From a technology standpoint, now I kind of thinking back in my youth, one Christmas my dad gave me this deal, and it had like if you've seen the radar, how it moves like this, or like on a ship or something like that. They had a car, and it looked like a modern type of car, and you got this whistle, and every time you would blow this whistle, this antenna evidently picked up the signal and would change directions. So I guess that was probably the first really technical thing I got as a kid.
Do you have a favorite metal band?
Mental band? I like my watch band.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave the answer there. That's about as far as I think we can go with that one. I'm checking the YouTube comments, kind of going back and forth here.
But I do want to learn more about that. You had mentioned was like Legos Online. What was that?
Oh, Minecraft?
Yeah. I'd like if someone had the patience to show me how that worked.
Oh God, who wants to teach my dad Minecraft?
That'd be kind of interesting to learn that. If it's building things, that'd be kind of fun to do.
You're gonna meet a few people this weekend, actually. One of
Well,
them.
that's what I'm hoping, that one of them sees and corners me and said, "Okay."
Well, I don't know if he will, but we got one guy. Sky does Minecraft. He's got 10 million subscribers on YouTube. So if you're gonna get taught by anybody, you want to get taught. You can brag and say, "I got taught by Sky does Minecraft."
That'd be cool.
That'd
be cool.
We'll see what happens. I don't know if that's gonna. I'll do my best.
Everybody will be pretty busy, I'm sure. Sometimes learning new things, you just got to jump in and try and do them. In fact, I think Chris kind of taught me that. Going back to that film editing, he said, "Well, just do it just do it." And so I just doed it. That's how I learned.
Boy, some of these questions, I guess I've already responded to, but I'm trying to find ones that you would be able to respond to. There we go. Can you see that, Dad?
Which one?
I don't know.
I remember my first.
There, can you see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are they asking questions? They maybe just be commenting.
CD player in 1993. Mine was 2 tin cans on a string.
Careful on scrolling because I've zoomed in on the screen for you, Dad. Okay, here's a good one. And it was asked of me, but I think you'll be able to answer it better. Justin R. Miller asks, do you think the desktop PC has gone by the wayside?
The which? The PC?
Yeah, the desktop PC. Has it gone by the wayside?
Not for me, because I don't know. I think I just feel more comfortable with the PC. In fact,
Yeah, but okay,
I'm still using XP.
we understand this.
Yeah, but I mean, I took it off. I figured if it's offline, then people can't get to my computer, but I could still use XP and the older Excel formatting and all that kind of stuff. And I can interchange them still.
Okay,
that goes away.
That's for you, though.
Yeah.
But okay, do you think the desktop PC, in a general sense, has gone by the wayside?
If it hasn't, it's quickly going to go, because I use my phone a lot more than I ever thought I would. In fact, I think I commented, and you commented about my comment, that if you'd have told me when I first started playing with the phone that I would, in essence, start becoming consumed with it, I guess I kind of have, because I kind of use it for everything. I love being able to stay on top of email and Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, at the end of the day, it just takes forever to get through it. Although I don't like a lot of the stuff Facebook does. If you're with Facebook, quit messing with stuff. Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, I'll see if I can.
But if they're going to change things, that's great. But give us a way to opt out. If we just want to keep it the same, let us keep it the same.
Yeah, but then it's people like you that XP's still around.
Yeah, that's right. And I bet there's a lot more out there than will admit it.
Well, probably.
So, and there's still a lot of businesses really that are out there that are having trouble with it. In fact, our community college in Des Moines Area Community College, their tech is having trouble with the new Windows 8 now because of the users. See, that's what they're forgetting. The people that use this stuff, you got to make it for them. You can't make it because you want it. You got to make it for the people that are going to use it.
Diane Rivera asks, what website do you go to daily to get your information or interest or on your interests or entertainment?
Well, you can understand, I grew up with television, so my main source of if that's the question, news and entertainment would be that little box in front of me, a television. Although I do watch some things on YouTube and I follow some people, but that could get real consuming real quick too. But that's okay too if I enjoy following the people I follow.
All right. Khosrow Zangane, and I don't know if that's how you say his name. I'm doing my best to kind of, get through some of that. Yeah.
Someone said a 2600. We had one of those.
An Atari 2600?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it there for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, I'm just making sure I can see what's going on here. Khosrow says, or asks, really, it's a long one here, but should be a good one. Technology connects us to so many sources, but we do not have time to interact with them all. Does this cause us to narrow our focus by choosing only those sources that align with our biases? Or does this directed access allow us to avoid insight and ideas from outside our search, making us less aware of alternative views or issues beyond our focus? When should we search and when should we browse? It's a really good question.
Yeah, because I was just thinking as you were asking the question for him, is that you kind of get locked into the things you look at, and you're kind of like, let's just use Facebook only as an example. You kind of start using Facebook. Well, I'm sure there's other things out there that are probably very similar to Facebook, but we kind of get like Google Plus, and I do some Google Plus too. So you may just get to where you depend on one source, and you get locked into those ways, and you don't think of trying other things. It's similar to me in XP, because I'm familiar with that. I don't try the other things. So I'm sure that's a good question. I really got to ponder that one.
Well, see, this is the way I look at it.
Because I'll search. Sometimes I'll search some if I just need information, because what the computer has become, Google and Bing and all those kinds of things, they become your encyclopedia. So if you want to know something, you ask them. You can just pose it as a question virtually and get information. I can't tell you how many times I've used that procedure to solve a problem, and also my phone, because I'll have a problem and not quite sure how to solve it. I'll Google it, and it'll tell me information. Then I'll take a picture and I'll look at it and match things up that way. So I'll do research that way and get things repaired. But it's I use it. But where do you stop? Because
So, here's
you
where I
can
stop.
ask a question, and then it goes on and on, because then it'll give you 14 different things. You can start looking at those, and then each one of those branches out and gives you 14 more things. You start out with something that you feel is very simple, but it ends up time consuming.
Let's go. I'm going to make this a little political too, because I think we've been running into this problem for years and years and years and years and years. Not just with traditional media, but specifically when you're following a story, something that might be considered controversial, that has two sides, absolutely two sides. If you find yourself gravitating towards the side that leans more towards your bias, you're cutting yourself off from other sources of information intentionally, and not realizing that you're further reinforcing your opinions rather than keeping them open. It's like watching one news channel rather than two.
Yeah.
But with social media, what it's been found, like Facebook, if you continuously like let's say, I'm going to abstract this. Star Wars versus Star Trek. It's a dramatic argument, right? Well, if all I do is like Star Wars stuff, Star Wars is better because of X, Star Wars is better because of Y, I'll never see the Star Trek stuff. Yeah. I'll never know the other side. Well, Star Wars did this awesome thing today, but Star Wars didn't tell me that they also attacked Star Trek. But Star Trek will, well, we were attacked by Star Wars today, and this is a problem, and Star Wars isn't reporting this. So it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's an unfortunate bias that we all lead into, regardless of topic. It has nothing to do with, anything other than our proclivities to gravitate towards like-minded thinking, like-minded individuals, or reinforcing our beliefs by saying, well, the Bible says so, therefore it's true. Well, and I'm using that as a term, but you can't rely on the source of information, especially when there are two sides to a story, as the definitive source of information.
You should try and keep. It's hard to do, to keep an open mind on any subject, really, because there are always more than just one answer. And for example, because I said I am a TV buff, and this is the only reason I'll bring this up. I'll watch CNN for a while. I'll watch Fox for a while, and then I hold my breath and watch MSNBC.
MSNBC?
Yeah. And they're all very biased in their directions. But then I take all that information and kind of come to my own conclusion based on all that information.
But see, most people don't. They'll see it in their social feeds, and they'll only follow people, or even follow people. Okay, it's kind of like, Mac versus PC. If you only follow one side of the equation, you're never going to be exposed to the other side.
Well, but but if you work someplace, for example, you learn to do things a certain way on a certain type of operating system.
Right.
So you become comfortable with that.
That's
well,
human.
If you're
That's
comfortable doing that, why would you want to change? You don't change for the sake of change. You change, hopefully, to make things better. And I'm not so sure some of the changes I see going on are always for the good. They're for someone's good, not necessarily my good.
All right.
That's fair.
Yeah. So do you think that technology helps expand our horizons or constricts them?
I'm 71, and I think it's helped me expand my horizons. I mean, I look at things now a lot different than I used to, and if I do get real inquisitive, I'll go do some search on the internet just to try to find out facts. And so I don't think it's opened up doors for me.
The internet.
The internet has opened up doors for me that I would have told you I would never do that, but yeah, it has.
Hang on, sorry. I was looking here to see if I could get. I got to run through the list of patrons to give them credit. This will be updated here. I can't see. It's too small. Am I over the play button?
No.
Oh, this way?
Yeah, right there.
There? Mm-hmm. Am I over the play button now?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. Have to be careful not to block the.
See, I found the play button. And you got.
Don't block it. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. There. Okay, you're in a good position. There you go. Not you, Pixie. You're fine.
Oh, I see. For the
Yeah, because these are the
Yeah,
patrons to give them credit. We have to make sure
Yeah.
we do that. What future tech experience do you look forward to or wish for the most? Asks Eric Flink.
We were talking of this. I probably won't see this, but I was watching an old episode of Star Trek, original Star Trek, because I can rewatch those all the time. But they're when they transport the transporter and they transport people, I think that'd be great.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to springboard.
I don't want to be the test one for that.
What about, okay, this is, I think, going to be a reality sooner rather than later, and I'm kind of excited about it, to put my bias in there. Self-driving cars.
That, because you got to understand, because of the way I was brought up and my generation, if I'll use that terminology, I virtually grew up with a car. And I've been driving since I was 14. And it would be hard for me to trust a machine to drive my car. That being said, I trust a machine to fly the airplane I'm in because of autopilot and that kind of thing. They can virtually take off and land all by themselves. And the pilot and co-pilots are basically there for emergency situations. So at some point, my guess is cars are going to be able to do that. And when I was a young kid, there used to be Walt Disney, and he'd have this what they called Tomorrowland. And if you watch the Disney program back then, they had cars. People would get in and sit in like in a circle, and then that car was going to drive itself. Now that's back in like the 1950s. They were predicting that. So that prediction's been around a while, and we're getting closer and closer to it. And just like atomic submarines, Jules Verne wrote about atomic submarines years and years and years before they became reality. So, yeah, a lot of those things will come about. Yeah, it'll come. I'm not sure if I trust it, but that's just me. I think they're going to work perfectly fine. In fact, don't they have them out in California where there are actually areas on the road where they drive these things? You basically hands-off driving. Just take your hands off. Takes you where you want to go.
I'm waiting for it. I want it. I'm ready for it.
It'd be nice in a lot of ways.
Do you know that more people die today? And this, I don't have the exact source of statistics, but it sounds very reasonable. More die from distracted driving, looking at the text messages, replying to Facebook, than die from drunk driving.
Yeah, I believe that. But here's the problem I have. Don't get yourself stuck so much inside the computer and this whole tech stuff, because there's a whole life outside. So, I mean, you don't want to get to where you can't carry on a face-to-face type conversation with people. We got to be able to communicate with each other. Although if we could keep people further apart, maybe we could stop all these bad things happening around the world.
Cassie Lowe loves Star Trek, so you're her kind of guy.
All right.
Yeah, Dad always liked Star Trek more than Star Wars. That's always been the case.
I like
the original
Star
series.
Trek.
Well, here's another good, kind of related, fun one. Jesse Griffiths on Facebook asks, "Do you like Lost in Space, the '60s TV series?" He remembers Dad was alive.
You know who that is?
Wasn't that Robbie the robot?
The robot.
Yeah. I think it was Robbie. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Danger.
I actually saw him at the. Where the hell's the screen is too long. There we go.
They have a couple TV channels, Me TV and Tana TV, and you don't even have to have satellite or cable, but you can get them all over the air for no cost. And they show a lot of those old TV series. And
wait.
one's on.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
That one's on.
Sorry. Go ahead, Dad.
Your deal came off. Though.
Yeah, I did that intentionally. Sorry, I thought we went blank again. I gotta keep an eye out for this kind of crap. The question was intended for me. I never really got into Lost in Space. The movie didn't bother me too much, though it was kind of a reboot of the series, and it was okay. It wasn't amazing. It didn't surprise me that it didn't survive. But I never really. I tried watching classic sci-fi like Doctor Who or he's Lost in Space, even Star Trek, and it just I can't. I've tried and I've yet to find one that's just like, this is, because you have to view it differently. It was at the time when production was a certain way, and the story sometimes is compelling enough that it keeps me interested, but it's hard for me to sometimes look past the production.
I'll watch Gunsmoke on the old series and series like that, and Bonanza, and because you mentioned the way they're filmed and things, and you look at that, and the background is so phony. I mean, you notice it now, but you can understand when you first start watching that, you don't know any better. If you don't know any better, then it's more acceptable. So nowadays, I just love going to the movies and seeing all the graphics of them. We just went and saw a movie, Adam and I. I'm trying to think of what the name of it was. I'll think of it.
You'll think of what?
The movie we went to.
Oh.
It's a first run one, and it had the animation type stuff.
What was in it? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
What was the plot? Do you know the plot? Was it a superhero movie?
Yeah, kind of a superhero one.
Spider-Man. No. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That
was it. Yeah,
Everyone
it was
seemed to
kind
like
of fun.
it.
It was kind of fun to watch. Yeah.
Everyone seems to like that one. We haven't seen it yet.
Groot. What's his name?
Groot.
Groot. Yeah, Groot. My name is Groot. My name is Groot. I wanted to get a twig and put it up, and then take a Instagram and put my name is Groot.
Now I gotta see it because I don't get it yet. But people keep laughing about it. See, now someone needs to do you up like a twig and say my name is Groot.
My name is Groot.
Someone's gonna do it. Give him an hour. I bet you they'll do it. Groot is my dad. There we go. Sindra Johnstead asks, how did you get inspired to start with YouTube?
My inspiration's sitting across from me.
Okay, that was it.
My son's sitting over there, and then I didn't know what to do, and I thought about doing some things other than what I do. But we travel a lot, and we love to travel, so I thought I'd do that, and that's kind of mostly the way we do now. But I'd still like to do some kind of. I got a bunch of things, technical things at home that I think I'm going to do one vlog on doing all those, and then my wife tells me, and other people tell me, I ought to do some stuff on political stuff. But I know that way, yeah, I know a lot of people would get upset at my views, but you know what? They'd be my views.
Yeah, but people don't.
I know.
They don't care. I mean, I mean that with all respect. I mean, they just don't.
No, I know.
Genuinely do not care. They expect the world's going to revolve around them and them alone.
Well, that ain't going to happen. So.
What about Battlestar Galactica?
I like that one too. In fact, Chris, I was on a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. And I had to stay longer than I originally thought, so I had Judy put Chris on an airplane and fly him down. And I found a daycare place right by the motel where I was, and I would take him there in the day and then pick him up at night. And one of those nights, and he was just a little tyke. Were you preschool?
Third grade, second grade. No,
you were older then.
I was older.
Yeah, but I picked him up, and there was Battlestar Galactica was on at a theater, and we went to that movie.
Was that before or after the show?
I think it was after the TV series.
Okay.
Yeah, Cylons and
Cylons.
And then one time here, they had all that stuff at the Seattle Center, the props from Battlestar Galactica. We went and saw those. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's actually when we went to see them. That's how I started to watch the Battlestar Galactica, the new series, which I think you'll like.
I haven't watched that yet.
Well, but you like Falling Skies right now.
Oh yeah, Falling Skies is mine. And
I tried to get in.
And The Last Ship. If you haven't seen
that one.
You know, and I put something on Facebook, and I didn't get a whole lot in Instagram, or not Instagram, but Twitter, that when all this Ebola started and they brought the 2 Americans back home, I thought what they needed to do was dock The Last Ship in Atlanta. And if you've watched this series, you'll get that. But it's kind of an interesting thing, and that was started before this Ebola scare. And you think about it, that's a pretty dangerous thing. It's like
but I think you have to exchange bodily fluids with someone.
Yeah, but you know The Last Ship, that
I know
they're trying to find a cure for this disease.
Right.
That's killing everybody off in the whole world.
Right.
And this ship is immune because it was offshore when all this happened, and so the scientist is trying to find the cure on that ship, and now another country's chasing that ship because they want to find the cure, and it's just kind of an interesting thing. And I do think I'm a fiction lover, And one of the reasons is because a lot of things you see in fiction eventually become reality. Let's hope the disease doesn't get to become as big a reality as that. But you see a lot of things in the movies that eventually come true. Fiction.
So this is okay. So this is a question for me, and this will be the last one because I think we've come on to about a half hour here. If you can only one bit of fatherly advice from father to son, first time father, what would your advice be for me? One bit of advice. That doesn't mean that you have to. I'm sure you're going to continue to share your advice with me for forever. So what would that one thing be? Your go-to bit of advice.
I guess I would tell a prospective father to always find time for their children. And like when they start school, be there every night. Try to spend some time every night with your child. I think it's a good idea to at least have like your evening meal. Have that as a family. If lunchtime ends up being a better time to sit down and have your family time, that'd be good. Just spend quality time with your child as you can. I don't think I did as good a job as I should have, but I gave it the best I could.
I think it was fine. I never had any issue. Yeah, our child is going to be growing up here, listening to me prattle on every day. I'll probably go just the opposite. It's probably
could have a rocker here. You could be rocking.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably gonna happen if we get the right rocker. It might very well happen. All right. Well, thank you, and thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll be back again tomorrow with an AMA. I think I'll lead it. Hopefully, we'll get enough questions stacked for that. We're not there yet. Thanks for what was that?
See you later.
Okay. Oh, you're hiding it? Okay,
I was bringing it back down out of the picture.
Okay, I wasn't sure exactly what was going on there. Thank you, everybody, and we really appreciate all the support everybody's been giving us. It's been kind of a crazy time for everybody around here, including Diana, who is currently picking up Liz. She's coming over to hang out with us this afternoon. She was really helpful in getting Blogger to come together. And so, at this point, we're going to leave you to your own devices, and now you can do that.
We'll see you later.